It's pretty crazy that this show has been on the air for 1 year this weekend. Dragon Ball Super, episode 50. We made it to episode 50. Dragon Ball Super, of course, started July 5th, 2015. And here we are. Dragon Ball Super episode 50. Japanese title is Goku Tai Buraku Toza Sareta Mirai no Michi, which translates to Goku versus Black, the path to the sealed future. I was going to do a separate video about this news I'm about to drop right now, but I figure I'll drop it right here on the Dragon Ball Super episode 50 review. Viz has licensed the Dragon Ball Super manga for an American, or not American, but an English release. It's going to be on Canada too in 2017. So that's very good news if you want to read the Super manga and collect it with a real translation from Viz. 2017, you're going to get it. And before anybody asks, no, this has nothing to do with the Funimation dub. That's a whole separate license, a whole separate thing. But at least now you know that the Super manga is coming out in English, legally from Viz, with a print edition, not just digital. A print edition next year. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super episode 50. I just wanted to say that because I was going to do a separate video about it, but I figured why not talk about it here, since most folks come for the Super reviews and you get the good news here. The good news brought to you by the Geekdom 101 channel, which you, of course, should subscribe to. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super episode 50 now. The long-awaited fight between Goku and Black. I don't think it's going to be the last time these guys square off, but that's just my opinion. So the first half of this episode was pretty much the fight. A lot of action in the first half of the episode. Then the second half, we got some interesting story-building stuff for the future. I really like the way this arc is playing out, guys. I really, really like it. They're doing a really good job of pacing things out, I think, correctly, and they're also doing a great job of doing the cliffhangers really, really well. So the episode starts, I'm going to give you guys a little play-by-play here, because there's a lot of action. Goku and Black face-to-face, really awesome lightning bolts behind Black. I really like the animation on that. And then Black's ring on his finger goes off, and then he realizes that Trunks did indeed go through time. And then Whis is like, Lord Beerus, look at that ring. So Interesting. Black notices, there's a lot of interesting clues about who Black is here. He sees Goku and he sees Hakaishin Birisu. He recognizes Goku, of course, and Vegeta, I should have mentioned him, and Beerus. So Black knows who all these characters are. Very interesting. Trunks wants to fight Black, but Vegeta tells him to stand down, but of course Goku wants a piece of that action. And then Black says something very interesting. He says, what an honor. I wanted to battle you in this body. Thanks to Herms for that translation. He says, I wanted to battle you in this body. Now, I theorized, and there's a lot of theories, and everybody has their theory, but I theorized that this character, Black, might be some kind of demonic being that can take different forms and like shapeshift or maybe even possess bodies. What if Black possessed Goku's dead body? His dead body back in Future Trunks timeline when he died from the heart virus. That could be a possibility, this demonic force. But this implies, right here, this tells us that Goku Black, or Black Goku's not his real body. So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't think it's Captain Ginyu, so please don't say that. So here we go. The fight starts with Black firing a ki blast at Goku and sends him packing all the way back, which was awesome. Goku and him go at it. We see a nice little mix of both hand-to-hand combat and ki blast. Really enjoyed this little fight. Goku can't seem to dent him. Goku then, of course, talks about how it looks like Black's like me and he likes to fight. Nozawa does a great job here talking to herself, even though she's done it for years and years and years, because Masako Nozawa plays Goku, Gohan, Goten, Tullis, Bardock, and now Black. So it's, she's used to doing it. It's pretty cool how it is here with the different kind of vocal tones. So Black attacks with lefts, rights, lefts. Goku's blocking, uppercut to the gut from Black. Black fires ki blast like nothing. Really fun fight. Lots of striking and blocking. Good hand-to-hand combat. Decent animation. Not the best. Not anywhere close to what we saw in Dragon Ball Super episode 48. But you really can't compare them. I mean, you can compare them, but I don't think this was that bad to where you're like, oh my god, no, I thought it was fine. they double punch each other, and then Trunks is wondering, why is Goku not going all out? And Vegeta's like, well, he's taking it slow. Looks like Dragon Ball will never change, and it's unfortunate because I have a feeling that if Goku used his SS Blue, power or whatever, it looks like I think he would win the fight. I think he would win the fight. Like Manny Pacquiao. I think that won the fight. I think he'd win the fight. It is a little bit frustrating, but, it's whatever. It's Dragon Ball. So anyways, Goku goes in. Black grabs his arm and sends him down judo style. Goku then comes back with a flying kick, and he hurt Black, but Black smiles. During the fight, there's a big black and purple portal behind him. And I really like how during the fight, whenever Black powers up, his ki is like this black and like purple lightning ki, like it kind of looks like a mixture of like Beerus and Baby, and maybe even Omega Shenron. Like it has that kind of that negative energy connotation to it. So Black is getting stronger as the fight progresses. Fires a ki blast. Goku deflects it up and then gets caught with a big kick in the gut. That knocks over the time machine, and Black hears Trunks mention the time machine, and I'm like, oh fuck. But Goku rushes in with a big right hook to the gut. They clash fists again. And then what's happening is, it's kind of weird. There's like a purple aura that keeps like leaving Black, like his soul's almost leaving him, like bomb, bomb, bomb. And he's like suffering from it. Very weird. And then Black sees the time machine, destroys the time machine, fires a ki blast, destroys it, then flies back through the portal and vanishes back to the future. Before he went back, he mentioned that there's something fucked up with the time distortion, whatever that means. Black, back in the future, fight's over. And it came off like it kind of almost came off like that scene from Mortal Kombat Annihilation when Scorpion was like, suckers! And he took Katana with him. Leave a comment if you remember that horrible movie, that abortion of a movie. But, it was very similar. And, so it had the whole like supervillain thing, like, next time gadget kind of thing. But he's back in the future holding his chest from the body shots that Goku gave him. Now, those of you who have ever been in a real fight, you know that body shots hurt more than getting hit in the face. If you get hit in the jaw, it could knock you out, and then you'll get back up. But if you get hit in like the liver or the kidneys, you might be pissing blood for a week. I'm serious here. So I like the fact that they're emphasizing Black getting hit in the gut and his body holding his chest. Now I have read some theories from fans that they believe that maybe if Black did take Goku's dead body, maybe he took the heart virus with him. Again, this is all theories, but those are actually plausible theories. I think those actually kind of make sense, right? But we'll see what happens. Let's wait and see and not have a big argument over it. So the time ring seals up the portal, and Black is stuck in the future for the time being, but he laughs sadistically. I can't wait to see Sean Schemmel portray Black in the English dub of Super, because I want to see him play a villain with this sadistic kind of a villain. So Black mentions that Trunks is no longer in the future to fuck with him, so now he can go ahead and do what he wants. And of course, I can just tell they're going to take the fight to the future, which we'll find out more about shortly. Then we have a shot of Kid Trunks and Adult Trunks in the time machine, and Future Trunks is heartbroken that, this guy's still on the loose, and he wants to, there's still Earthlings in the future that are alive, right? Not everybody on Earth in the future is dead, and Trunks wants to save them. But the time machine's been destroyed. Trunks, is just kind of bummed out. He mentions that Black is a little bit stronger this time than he was when he fought Goku, which means he's going to get stronger. But at this point, Black just cannot fuck with the God Ki. He just can't. Blue Goku would tear him apart, I think. But again, I think this villain's going to get stronger as the arc progresses, kind of like Cell and Boo did. So, Bulma says that she mentions that rebuilding the time machine might be too much for her. Then she has an idea and runs off to Capsule Corp, goes back and is looking for something. So then we have this interesting scene where Whis, a lot of world building here, guys. Whis, whatever you want to call him, he explains that Black's ring was a time ring and only Kaioshins are allowed to use time rings, aka the Supreme Kais. So Trunks talks to Beerus and Whis and he says, hey, can I borrow a time ring? But because Beerus is a Hakaishin, a god of destruction, he doesn't have a time ring. Only Kaioshins have time rings. So then, of course, that begs the question, can the Supreme Kais go through time? Obviously, Whis mentioned in the previous episode that's not a good idea. Now, I also want to tell you guys, I did a video that I worked really hard on. I'm going to leave a link down below called, it's about the Dragon Ball Super Butterfly Effect and why the Majin Buu arc happened 10 years later in the future. I'd like you guys to check that video out after the review because, I really, really worked hard on it. And it really explains a lot about how things actually work with the butterfly effect and what Whis said. And definitely spread that video out too. I'm going to leave a link to it down below. So, back to the episode. Beerus does not have a time ring. Then Krillin brings up Whis' time reversal from the Resurrection F arc and movie. Whis says he can only rewind time for 3 minutes. His powers won't allow him to go to the future or to another timeline. Now, another quick plug, call it cheap if you want to. This week on the channel, guys, on Geekdom 101, right here, subscribe if you haven't, I will be giving you a video about the different time manipulation techniques. I'm going to break down the difference between time travel and what Whis does, what Hit does, and what Mr. Guldo does. 3 different techniques, not time travel, but I will explain to you later this week on the channel, few days probably, exactly like what the properties are of these techniques. So back to the episode. Trunks is all bummed out. Vegeta's like, don't give up. Some slow reactions. Bulma rushes back, opens out a capsule, and reveals that she has the time machine that Cell came back in. So the time machine that has the big crack in it, that Cell in his larva form came back in way, way back in Dragon Ball Z, she kept it all these years in a capsule. Very interesting. However, what I'm finding could be a little bit of a plot hole is that time machine is set to go back to Cell's timeline because the connection when you go back in time is made with whatever timeline you came from. So that might end up being a bit of a plot hole unless Bulma can somehow reconfigure the time machine to go back to Trunks' timeline, not Cell's timeline. And if you're wondering about what the fuck I'm talking about, I've got a video again called Time Travel Explained. I've got answers for you on this Geekdom channel, alright? I worked my ass off to give you guys answers because Dragon Ball is very confusing. So, big cliffhanger for this episode. In the future, we go to dead Mai, who is in fact not dead, which, again, a lot of you guys said she really wasn't dead, that we're made to think she was dead, and I agreed with you. You are a great prognosticator. Mai's hand moves, so Mai is alive, and that is the closing of Dragon Ball Super Episode 50. Brand new ending song, of course, this week. Next week, I thought it was an okay song. I'll listen to it again before I give my final thoughts. Next week, it looks like Black is terrorizing the future, and it looks like Trunks is already back in the future. I don't know if the pacing is kind of jacked here, but again, it's one of those things where we'll see what happens, but it looks like Trunks is back in the future. Also, because of my stream being kind of wonky, I'm gonna be rewatching this episode later this week in high definition with the proper subtitles. So I will, if I see any kind of crazy revelation or anything, I will do a video about it. Like if there's any kind of information that's revealed, after watching it subbed, anything minor or major, I will definitely do a video about that. So anyways, let me know your thoughts, of course, on this episode. So far, good episode. Not as good as the last 3, but I still enjoyed the episode a lot, and they're still doing this world-building stuff. I'm not complaining at all about Super right now. It's too soon to complain about this because nothing bad has happened yet. So far, I'm enjoying the Future Trunks arc. 4 good episodes. Let me know down below. Thank you, as always, for supporting Geekdom 101. Leave a like if you like the review, and, of course, subscribe if you have not. Talk to y'all later.